I remember buying and playing Oceanhorn on my Android tablet a while ago. The game looked impressive, but I couldn't get to grips with the touch control, so I stopped playing. I was very happy when I learnt the game was coming to Vita, and although it wouldn't make my list of best Vita games, it's still a good game. Oceanhorn is about a boy who sets out on an adventure to slay the mechanical terror Oceanhorn. Along the way, he travels to nearby islands seeking out clues to the monster's location and obtaining weapons and artifacts to help you take it down. The story was pretty good, but I really liked the lore it was setting up. The world and history that the developer Cornfox Brothers has established has a lot of potential. The islands you travel to contain dungeons with puzzles and enemies to overcome in order to claim the items you need. The islands had some variety and the dungeons were themed around elements like fire and ice. You only discover islands through finding clues to their locations. I like the idea that I was discovering these islands and exploring them as part of the journey. The game really rewards exploration, with items hidden all over the map. I found myself searching every corner of every island to find items and trying to use bombs to blow up walls just in case there was something behind them. When you play the game, and even just seeing a trailer of it, you can see the obvious links to Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. I don't think it's a problem to take inspiration from another game. I just reviewed Sword and Sanctuary and loved it, but Oceanhorn felt like a substandard version of Wind Waker. The movement is a bit stiff, the puzzles were very easy and mainly involved pushing blocks around. The combat was also simplistic and boss fights were easy. I would have liked to have had more challenge and complexity to the game. I had some puzzles I solved by accident because they were so straightforward, and half of the bosses I beat on my first try. The game looks amazing and the musical score feels like we're going on an adventure. Sailing between islands on the shimmering seas looked very impressive. While sailing between islands, you don't have control of the ship direction, but you do have a gun to shoot enemies in the sea or to grab coins from floating crates. I like the shooting while sailing aspect of the game. It meant you needed to concentrate while sailing, but I would have liked to have been able to steer the boat itself. Oceanhorn was colourful and bright with detailed characters and environments. The blue of the ocean and the green of the grass and plants looked excellent on the Vita screen. The only letdown was the protagonist's expression. I found it jarring that all characters had no facial animation. They all had the same expression at all times. Even at the end of the game, when the protagonist had just saved the world, he still had that expression on his face that made him look like he was confused and angry. Having the character react to situations would have helped me relate to him more. I would have wanted the character to show some shock when there was a surprise revelation, or happiness at defeating a boss. These are small things that help give the feeling that you're on an adventure and learning about the world with the protagonist. But as it was, I could have been controlling anyone and it wouldn't have changed the game at all. I realise I'm sounding pretty down on the game. I feel like this game was so close to being excellent if they could have just made more interesting puzzles, better combat mechanics and enemies that require you to change up your tactics. I do still recommend playing Oceanhorn because it's a good game and I'm personally glad I played it. It's just not a great game. It took me around 9.5 hours to beat, which is a decent amount of time given the price. The developers announced a sequel is in the works. The world they've created and the lore they've set up are really interesting. I'm hopeful that they'll take the learnings from the first game and improve it to make a really good sequel. So, have you played Oceanhorn? What are your thoughts on it? Leave a comment, and as always, thanks for watching.